Okay, we've got another one here. This time round, this non-alcoholic beer that I've got in front of me is Patronus. It's powered, it says, powered by Perlenbacher. It's a Weissebier, as a lot of these German alcohol-free beers are. It's up next. Let's give it a go. Welcome back to Views and Brews. We are the 20th of January 2021, and I am doing my first dry January. I'm getting a lot of heckles from a lot of people that I know in the beer world. It's kind of like a frowned upon thing to drink alcohol-free beer. And I get it. I understand that. There is this stigma attached to, what you drink an alcohol-free beer for. What is that about? But this is a show that, this YouTube channel is all about my views on brews, and that can be, barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stouts, or that can be alcohol-free German Weissbier. It's all good to me. Like, I'll just try anything, and if it tastes good, I'll give it the respect. I think a lot of these German beers, they aren't doing themselves too much favors in terms of how they come across, because what I'm noticing from some of them, not all of them, some of them are very, very overly sweet and worty and very noticeably alcohol-free, whereas a lot of the modern craft beer, the best brewers in craft beer, they've worked out how to actually brew really incredible flavored alcohol-free beers. These older guys with their bigger breweries, they've been doing it this way for X amount of decades, and they're not for changing. But anyway, I'm just going to get on and have a look at this beer here and see what it is. There's not much on the back, so it's very simple. 25 calories per 100 milliliters. It's a 500 milliliter bottle, so we're talking 125 calories. On top of that, there is a lot of carbohydrates. There's 25, there's about 27.5 grams of carbohydrates, which will all be stored. If you're looking for a low calorie, low impact on the belly kind of a beer, this isn't going to be it. Okay, we're not too far short here of what the calorific content would be in a normal beer. If you consider a normal pale ale, 500 ml pale ale, gets you about between 150 and 200 calories, depending on what's in it. We're 125 calories here. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, about 13 grams of sugar in here. That's quite a lot of sugar for one drink. So I have my suspicions about this beer, but we will have a look. Just check out the beer label there. You will have seen this in supermarkets. It's got good supermarket distribution chain going on. It's got a monk on the front. There are always monks on the front of these things. What does it say here? This isn't out of date till November the 4th, 2021. So this is really in date. It's a Weissbier. Weissbier should have about 50%, I guess about 50% wheat in it. The rest of it's going to be barley. We've got a nice sort of slightly hazy. Oh yeah, quite hazy actually. Quite starchy looking in there, beer with like a golden complexion to it, but a bit of malt colour coming through there as well. A thick head of foam, really nice, densely compact. And on the nose, it just smells like wort. It smells like brewing wort. For those of you who don't know what that is, for home brewing and commercial brewing, when you start to make a beer, you heat up some water to about 67 degrees. You add it to all of your freshly milled grains of wheat and barley. You pour it on top and you give it a stir, and it's kind of like porridge. Well, that's what this smells like right now. If you dip your head in there, the only thing is this smells even sweeter. And to me, it always comes across honey-like. And what I always think about that is grand, I'll probably drink this beer. I'll drink the whole pint of it. But would I be able to sit down in a bar with my friends and drink 3 or 4 pints of this if I was the designated driver, or if I was trying to actually be a bit healthier or just not drink alcohol for any old reason? Would I want to drink this? And you know, before I've even taken a sip of the beer, I'm probably leaning towards I would look for other options. Yeah, I mean, it's the height of sweetness. It's like honey sweetness, honey malt. Excuse me. Honey, bready, sweet. But you can't smell sweetness. So what is it? It's worty sweetness. It's porridgey. That's the way I would say it. Really sweet porridgey. Anyway, cheers, sláinte, prost, and let's give it a go. Surprisingly, the beer is thinner than I expected it on the body, which I wasn't really prepared for. My mind sort of made up this mental perception because a lot of these German alcohol-free beers are similar to this. The only two that I've really enjoyed is the Weissebier, which I think was absolutely fantastic. That and one other one that doesn't spring to my mind right now, but yeah, Weissebier really nice. This one just not going to do it for me. Like, that's just like drinking a really, really highly sugared barley drink. And I know that it's missing alcohol because it doesn't have any of that hop bitterness to build it up. It doesn't have the kind of malt flavour contributions. What contributions it does come in with is just piles and piles of sugary type of worty porridginess to it. Again, I've said it before, this is the type of beer that I'd rather cook with than drink. And I actually think these kinds of beers like get overlooked a lot for that kind of thing. But, you know, this cost me, what, €1? You could easily shove that into a beef carbonade or, some kind of a stew or a casserole, and it would be fantastic. But just, it's not going to do it for me. Probably going to have a few more sips, but I just know it's a beer that's made to serve a purpose rather than for actual enjoyment. And I think that the takeaway for me with these type beers is that I feel like you're throwing shade on people that have made a decision to become alcohol free for whatever reason it is. You've just dismissed them as they don't matter. And what that's done is that's just made the entire market go towards alcohol, and anyone else just to go towards minerals instead. And when what the market should have been doing is thinking, how can we make these as tasty as possible so that we actually include more people and make more sales? I mean, I don't know the thinking. It's big beer, I think, is the problem here. You know, some of the beers from Perlenbacher, anyway, I don't know much about Patronus, but Perlenbacher's all right. But this is not going to do it for me. Anyway, cheers, sláinte. That's it. That's my view on this brew, and it's on to the next one. Bye.